Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 14 of the great comeback albums of all time in rock history. Our favorite comebacks. Bands who came back from lengthy absences, working together once again. Maybe they had a death in the band, replaced them with a new member, went ahead and put out some great music. Maybe a complete lineup change. Maybe they had an album that was just critically and commercially panned, and then the follow-up righted the course again, right? Lots of ways to have a great comeback. This particular one is the only studio album from this duo. However, they came from a mega band. And after many years away, they put out this album, and the world was okay again. Released April 20th, 1998, recorded at Abbey Road Studios in London, England. Produced by the two guys in question, released Atlantic Records here in the States, Mercury, and most of the rest of the parts of the world. Talking about Walking into Clarksdale from Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. Of course, this would follow the No Quarter, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant unleaded from 3-4 years before, which was more of kind of like a, re-recording of classics and live and all that sort of thing. It was the first real big collaboration between the two since, of course, Into the Outdoor from Led Zeppelin all those years ago. And while they had worked with each other a little bit in various projects, that was the first full album they did together, but this is the first studio album of all new material. And does it sound like Led Zeppelin? A little bit. In spots, for sure. Jimmy Page on all acoustic electric guitars, mandolin. Robert Plant, lead vocals. Charlie Jones, bass guitar, percussion. Michael Lee, drums and percussion. And you've got Linton Naif on string arrangements on one track. Ed Shearmer on programming and synths and things like that. Tim Whalen, keyboards, and various other things. So what do we got on this album here? 12 tracks. If we were waiting for another big, bombastic, eclectic release from the guys from Led Zeppelin, the two main guys, right? Of course, Bonham's no longer with us. John Paul Jones either wasn't invited or chose not to be involved. It's not quite that. There's bits of a lot of what Robert Plant was doing at the time. Jimmy hadn't been all that busy at all. He still hasn't to this day, right? So we were like, okay, whatever. Let's see what Jimmy Page brings to the proceedings here. A lot of this is very kind of folky, rootsy. There are some moments of the Zeppelin-style hard rock and spots. I think, both guys exemplify themselves very well here. Plant sounds great. Maybe I would have liked more kind of electric guitar and soloing from Jimmy, but there's lots of textures, lots of acoustic and electric textures all over the album. Shining in the Light is a very cool song that's kind of fun, upbeat, bright, like that. When the World Was Young is kind of cool and moody, and that goes from kind of like a more acoustic and then heavy sections, acoustic and heavy sections. Really dig that one a lot. Upon a Golden Horse, that's more kind of, it's kind of moody pop, right? A lot of this album is kind of moody. Blue Train, again, not a lot going on, but there's some good textures there. Please Read the Letter, that's pretty good. Most High, Heart in Your Hand, title track Walking into Clarksdale is fun. Burning Up for me is the big rocker on the album, and that sounds like a 70s Led Zeppelin too. Personally, I kind of wanted more of that, but you get what you get, right? When I Was a Child is pretty cool. I like House of Love, and Sons of Freedom, the last track, is also really cool. It's another one of those kind of slow buildy things. It's got little moody moments of heaviness and lightness, right? There's a lot of light and shade on this album. The guitar work of Page, like I said, this is not Jimmy Page, the guitar hero on this one. He's doing lots of tones and textures. There's a lot of acoustic stuff on here. There's a lot of kind of more laid-back electric stuff. Plant is sounding great. I don't know. It's a good album. It's a great comeback for the guys, considering how many years they've been away. For me, to me, this doesn't quite stack up with most of the Led Zeppelin albums, right? But as a welcome return and a great comeback for them, for sure. I mean, I had to include it on here because I think it's just so notable that these guys were working together. Unfortunately, it didn't last all that long, right? Page went off to do what Page does. Robert went back to his solo career. Jimmy started hanging and playing with the Black Crowes and all. You know how it goes. But noteworthy nonetheless. Charts Australia, number 16. Austria, 33. Belgium charts up in Flanders, 27. Someone told me what the whole Belgian thing is. There's different areas of Belgium and they kind of operate on their own, right? So didn't know that. So the Wallonia charts made it to number 22. Flanders, number 27. Canada, number 17. Dutch charts, number 56. France, 5. Finland, 27. Germany, 13. Hungary, 25. New Zealand, 11. Norway, 13. Sweden, 17. Swiss charts, 31. UK charts, 3. And the US Billboard, 8. Yeah, you would have thought this would have done a little better, right? Certifications, UK silver, 60,000 units sold, and here in the States, gold at 500,000 units sold. So I think it was a triumphant return from the band, but, the music industry had changed quite a bit come 1998, so I don't think this was the big, massive hit they were kind of thinking it would be. But you listen to the album, and the songs are not like, it's not that type of an album. It really isn't. It's a cool album. For what it is, it's really good. It's great to have these two guys working together again. But this is not. It's not Led Zeppelin 4. It's not Into the Outdoor. It's not Physical Graffiti. It's not Led Zeppelin 1 or 2. Right? It's different. It's very different. It's a snapshot of where these guys were at the time. And like I said, there are some Zeppelin-y moments throughout. But on the whole, to me, it sounds more like a Robert Plant album with Jimmy Page guesting on guitar. That's what it always sounded like to me. But it's cool nonetheless. I dig it. Walking into Clarksdale, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant. Let us know what you think of this down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. And we'll see you tomorrow for another one. Stay tuned in just a little bit for ranking the albums. Count Ralphus and myself will be ranking the catalog of the legendary German thrash band Destruction, one of the big four from Germany, alongside Sodom, Creator, and Tankard. That's coming up in just a little bit, and we'll see you tomorrow for the Hudson Valley Squares. Speaking of thrash, it's Thrash Week basically on the channel. Hudson Valley Squares, the California thrash scene versus the German thrash scene. Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Testament going head-to-head with the four German bands I just mentioned, Tankard, Sodom, Creator, and Destruction. Who did it best in the 80s? Who's doing it best now? We'll be kind of discussing that tomorrow night on the Hudson Valley Squares, and all sorts of other stuff happening this week, so don't miss any of it. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. We'll see you soon. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.